Yes guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about Leicester's season and how it went for them and how on earth they won the Premier League. Like, it's so unbelievable. So I'm going to be going through the fixtures that they had and results which they completed. So okay, I'm just going to talk about the Premier League. So they became champions a few weeks ago. It was when is it Spurs? They drew to Chelsea. I think it was it 2-2 or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, and Hazard won the Premier League with Chelsea last year, and he won it for them basically, because then Tottenham couldn't have got to them. So they started the season they beat Sunderland 4-2. And then they beat West Ham, sorry, 2-1. Then they drew against Tottenham 1-1. And then yeah, that's another one. Okay, and yeah, and then they drew with Bournemouth 1-1. 1-1. No, excuse me. Leicester, they beat Aston Villa 3-2, which is wow. I was just looking back on that now, and 3-2 with Aston Villa. Wow, it's amazing. And then 2-2 with Stoke, and then yeah, and then Arsenal, we beat them 5-2, and at that time they weren't really good. Like, it's just like a great. I remember Sanchez got a hat trick in that match, and yeah, so it was 5-2 to Arsenal, and we're the only team that beat them twice basically in one season, and Leicester only lost 3 times. Wow. All right, and then they beat Norwich 2-1, drew with Southampton 2-2. And then beat Palace 1-0, and then 3-2 to Leicester at West Brom. Then 2-1. So Leicester beat Watford 2-1. Leicester beat Newcastle 3-0. Then it was 1-1 in the Premier League against Man U. Man Who, sorry. Yeah, and then they beat Swansea 3-0. They beat Chelsea 2-1. Beat Everton 3-2. And then Liverpool, they actually beat Leicester 1-0, which is good. And then it was a fairly good match, this one. It was 0-0 against Man City. And then they drew with Bournemouth 0-0. And that's another cup. I'm just on the Sky Sports website, and yeah, and then yeah, Leicester beat Tottenham 1-0, and then at this time I think Arsenal were top, but at Christmas time, kind of annoying. We just messed it up really, but it wasn't too far. Wait, where was I? Yeah, so. Yeah, with 1-0 to Leicester against Tottenham, and then Aston Villa drew with Leicester 1-0. That's a great match as well. Okay, that's a different match. Yeah, and then Leicester beat Stoke 3-0, and Stoke were actually a decent team this season. Actually, I actually don't know where they finished. I'll check that in a minute. And then yeah. And then in the Premier League, Leicester beat Liverpool 2-0. Leicester beat Man City 3-1. Wow. And then Arsenal. Oh, that's brilliant. Best game I think of Leicester's season. Not obviously for them, but that was a really good match to see. It was like, so Vardy had a penalty. He scored it. Took checked the wrong way, and then after that, what do you call it? Yeah, and it was. Yeah, and then Walcott and Welbeck came on. Well, Walcott came on first, and then Bellerin crossed it in. Giroud had a little knockdown on his head, and then Theo Walcott he just knocked it in. It was a great goal by him. And in the 90th minute, or Welbeck came on 6 minutes to go, I think it was. And then what happened was he just okay. So then Özil, he prayed. He even said in like one of the Arsenal interviews, and then he's crossed it in. It was like the perfect cross you ever see, and then Welbeck knocked it in, which is it's amazing for him because he's been out for like, I don't know, like half a year. No, not even half a year, and he still hasn't kicked the ball, kind of football. And then that was a great match. And then we still had like a good chance of winning the title, but we were quite behind. Yeah, and then moving into I think February, just the end of February, Leicester beat Norwich 1-0. Then moving into March, Leicester drew with West Brom 2-2. Leicester beat Watford 1-0. Leicester beat Newcastle 1-0, and these were annoying matches because they always won by 1-0. I don't know how. Just like, yeah, and then yeah, and Palace got beaten 1-0, and then Leicester won again. Like, come on, mate. Yeah, 1-0 to Leicester against Southampton, 2-0 against Sunderland, and this is the time, I think this was it, when they were like potential champions basically. And then Leicester, West Ham, I thought Leicester would slip up against West Ham, but then they actually drew with them 2-2, and then Leicester beat Swansea 4-0. Oh yeah, that's right, yeah. And then I think that was the match where they were champions, basically. If I think it was, yeah, if they didn't like, or if Swansea, if it was like a draw or something, then oh yeah, and then Chelsea drew with Tottenham that match after, and then I think Leicester were crowned champions, basically. I think it was that. And then yeah, Man U against Leicester, it was 1-1. And then, yeah, Leicester against Everton 3-1 to Leicester. And then the last game in the 7th of May, that was Leicester versus Everton. Leicester, yeah, they were crowned champions basically. And then they had a parade after the end of the season. And yeah, Chelsea against Leicester, it was 1-1. And so yeah, I think, yeah, that was a great season for them. But hopefully next season Arsenal could win it. Okay, so I'm gonna read out the points that every team. So Leicester finished 81 points. Arsenal surprisingly got second. I don't know, because everyone will say, every Arsenal fan and like the analysis people, they were just saying this wasn't the season for Arsenal. Well, it kind of was, because we kind of were in control of it. Then we slipped up with these sloppy results and stuff. But we, like, I found a surprising story. Basically, what happened was, Peter Schmeichel, I think that's his name. Oh no, Kasper Schmeichel. What happened was he never got injured in 2 seasons, and this other guy called Schwarzer, he never played in 2 seasons, so he probably might leave. I don't even know. And then Tottenham, they lost 5-1 to Newcastle on the last day. Like, just how can you lose to a relegated side? But it was Rafa Benitez, is a good manager really, but because he's got in control, and now he's going to the Championship and he's signed a new deal. But I think Newcastle will come back up because they've got a really good manager. And then yeah, Man City got 66 points, and then Man United, they had to score, I think it was like 20 goals in the last game. If it should have been like 20-0 if they wanted to get top 4, because that's how stupid the actually, wait. Yeah, about 16-0 or 17-0, but that's not going to happen. And then I think that was 3-1. And then I forgot who was it against. But, yeah, and then De Gea, if Chris Smalling, if he didn't do the own goal, then I think it would have been prized against Czech and De Gea for the Golden Glove for most clean sheets. But yeah, and then Southampton got 6th place, 63 points. West Ham 62, Liverpool 60 points. Stoke 51. Stoke had a good season, I'd say. Chelsea, I remember at the start of the season they was like really bad. I think they had a rubbish start to the season, but they still climbed up and didn't get relegated, which is surprising. But they showed good character. They did the double over Arsenal, but that was just stupid games. Like, yeah. It was like 2-0 and then 1-0, or I think it was like 2 red cards we got, but I don't know. Okay, let's just move on. Everton, they got 47 points. They came in 11th. Swansea 47. Watford 45. West Brom 43. Crystal Palace 42. Bournemouth 42. Sunderland, they managed to climb up, which is surprising. 39 points. Newcastle 37. These are the relegated teams: Newcastle, Norwich, and Aston Villa. Norwich City 34, and Aston Villa, they only managed 17 points. So yeah, it was this was like a really I don't know how to explain it, like topsy-turvy kind of thing. Like a really weird season. Like everyone, like how did every good team let Leicester win the league? Like it's just unreal. Like that's how. Yeah. So I'm gonna be doing more Premier League analysis. This is just one of them. I think there's about 4 more to go, I think, or 3 more videos to come on the Premier League 2015-16 season, and hopefully next season Arsenal could win the league. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing like transfer talk and all that as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video about Leicester being champions. And so yeah, there's more. As I said, there's more to come. And yeah, so like if you like this video, comment and subscribe if you're new. Until then, see you later and bye bye.